And welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we're going back to basics. A few weeks ago we showed you how to make a roux and then through to a bechamel and a mornay sauce. This week we're showing you how to make a dark roux, which is the basis of a lot of Cajun cooking. So the beginning is going to be very similar, but a little bit different proportions and a much longer cooking time. So our ingredients are going to be just regular butter, a good neutral oil, so that we're going to be using grapeseed oil, and some all-purpose flour. Now, as I said, the proportions are a little bit different from a standard roux for this, because the long cooking time makes it behave a little differently. All of the ingredients are going to be in the description below as usual. And we're just going to start by putting over a medium-low heat our oil, and then we're going to get our butter in there, just to get everything to start melting. You want a pretty low heat for this because you don't want anything to stick or burn, and you don't want anything to get scorched on the bottom of your pan. Now we're going to be using this dark roux to thicken our gumbo. That is going to be next week's video, but we did want to show this process to get you started. And this is also the pan we're using for our gumbo. So once everything's melted, we're going to be adding our flour. And then just give it a good stir to make sure that everything's well combined. You want to make sure there's no lumps of dry flour or anything. So the proportions are going to be quite different. There's a lot more flour in proportion to the fat than there is in the standard roux, because we are going to be cooking this for a long time, and it's going to behave a little more a little differently from the standard roux, the regular roux that's the base of a bechamel sauce. So you just want to make sure that it's all well combined, everything's mixed in, there's no dry flour or anything, and we're just going to start letting that cook, again, over a sort of a medium-low heat. You're going to start to notice it boiling a little bit, so this is some of the liquids boiling out of the butter, leaving you with just the fat and the flour. And it won't change color until all of the liquids are gone and the fat starts to caramelize, or the flour starts to caramelize and the fat starts to darken a little. So once all the liquids are gone, it's going to sort of look fluffy like this, which resembles like a biscuit dough in that pelly stage, the mealy stage, before you press it together to make a full dough. So you, again, just want to make sure that there's nothing sticking, there's nothing scorching on the bottom of your pan. If you do notice sticking at this point, do turn down your heat just a little bit. And then after a little while, you'll see it starting to darken on the bottom. So we're on our way at this point. It's starting to look a little glossy as well. You're getting a little bit of fat separation. And that's the oil just coating the outside of your roux at this point. And you can see it has changed color pretty significantly here. It's nowhere near where we want it yet. We definitely want to wait a little bit. Right now it's about peanut butter colored, but we definitely want it to get a lot darker than that. So again, at this point you want to keep a pretty close eye on it. You want to make sure it's not burning, it's not sticking, nothing's getting scorched on the bottom of your pan. Mix that darker colored roux from the bottom into your mixture to make sure it's all sort of evenly distributed. And there you go. A little while later, it is starting to darken on the bottom again. So we're going to give that a nice little stir. We're still not where we want to be yet. So it does seem quite dark. It will have a very nice toasty smell at this point. A lot of people look at this and say it's done. It is not. We're not at the point of a dark roux yet. You can see it's still, once we've mixed the darker stuff in with the lighter top layer, it's still looking quite pale. Again, sort of like a roasted peanut butter. But we definitely want to get it darker than this. So we're just going to give it a good stir. Make sure that nothing's burning or sticking. And then we get to this beautiful dark color here. And at this point you'll get sort of a almost an over popcorn kind of aroma. So you get that nice dark toasty aroma. And again, you're just going to mix that in. We're still not quite there. You can see here the color has gotten a lot darker. So we're just going to blend everything in together. Again, just give it a good stir. Make sure that there's nothing sticking, nothing scorched on the bottom of your pan. And you can do this as many times as you like. You do want to leave it a little bit between stirrings and to let it darken a bit. And this is about the final color that we're looking for. So you can see it's got that chocolate sauce kind of color to it. It will have that really toasty smell right now. Yeah, this is the basis of the gumbo that we're going to be making, and we're going to show you next week. Yeah, so that's a basic dark roux. It can actually get darker than this, and we didn't take it as dark as it could have gone. Really traditional Cajun cooking will probably take it quite a bit darker than that. But you can see here the gumbo that we're going to be using this for next week. So look forward to that recipe coming up soon. If you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. And remember to love your food.